Settling in is exciting, and here we have a winning tradition. Returning empty beverage containers to a bottle depot. Cartons, juice boxes, pop cans, bottles, bring your empties, and score cash back. It's quick, easy, and helps keep our arenas and province clean. Not sure what's refundable? If it's 1 liter or less, get 10 cents. Over 1 liter, that's 25 cents. Learn more at abcrc.com.
For the last 15 minutes, Klingberg tried to hit Brown, who spun it wide for Adam Henrique after flubbing the initial one-timer. And Edmonton has gotten some looks early on in this hockey game. Marchment with a backhand clear, and finally the Stars are out. But this game 2 looking very much like game 1 in terms of Edmonton and territorial domination. Marchment ahead to Matt Duchene, a backhander with Skinner coming way out to cut off the angle. The save made by the Oiler goaltender, and it's cleared back through the middle and recovered by Heiskanen at his own blue line. Stars right to left in this first period. Sent down low. Jason Robertson bumped down to the fourth line. Stars have made a couple changes. Edmonton, no personnel changes. It's Bouchard, a little give and go with Matthias Janmark swept around the corner. One of those changes, Colin Blackwell taken down, as he was the guy who scored the game winner in game 2 of the first round series against Colorado. Drive by Kulak left point, and that was blocked. Robertson clears. So Blackwell in, coming out is Oscar Beck, and then on defense is Edmonton-born Alex Petrovic. He's reinserted into the lineup with Ilya Labushkin coming out. Sam Steele from Sherwood Park for Dallas up through center.
You know what, with Petrovic, they don't play him in the regular season. He only comes in for the playoffs.
21 playoff games the last 2 years for the Dallas Stars, Bob. 6 regular season games. Just to illustrate your point, we've got a hand pass whistled against Dallas. A neutral zone face-off upcoming with 3 minutes gone in the scoreless first period, and each team with a shot on net. Bob and I high atop American Airlines Center, and when you find us, you'll find us in our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. Legacy, home of no payments, no interest for 1 year, and now they changed their mind. They're going to bring the face-off back inside the Dallas zone, which is curious, of course, because a hand pass from within the zone.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, Edmonton's had some good opportunities already in the first 3 minutes.
McDavid won the draw. Nugent Hopkins, a blast by Nurse, and that was blocked. Nurse unable to get it through. Mikhail Granlund, a goal and an assist for the Stars in the third period of game 1. He'll force it down low, picked up by Randon. Granlund, a shot, saves, Skinner, rebound off of Skinner's mask, came out to Thomas Harley, who was not on the score sheet in game 1. Takes a long wrist shot that's easily gobbled up by Skinner. And he'll freeze it with a face-off coming to his left.
Bit of an I got it, you got it routine with the Oilers forwards. And Dallas got a second chance opportunity after nobody went to the puck in the high slot.
Rope Hintz had a couple of swings at a rebound right in front of Stuart Skinner. 21-19 lifetime in the playoffs, and that shutout streak he put together of 142 minutes and 42 seconds was the 4th longest in the history of the Edmonton Oilers. Yes, Cujo has the record. Off the draw, won by Draisaitl, cleared by Jake Wallman. Down to one knee to field that puck was Harley. Didn't handle it cleanly. Recovered and cleared by Heiskanen up through center. Grabbed by John Klingberg, the former Dallas Star, has his high slot pass intended for Podkolzin deflected into the waiting arms of Jake Ottinger, who's 32-27 lifetime in the postseason, 24 saves for Dallas in game 1. But neither you or I, Bob, thought he was lights out in game 1.
No, you know what, Jack? You brought up I did not know this. What's the stat regarding the wins by American goaltenders? Did not know this.
Yeah, he only has 32 victories in the postseason, but that's good enough for 4th all-time in the history of U.S.-born goaltenders. 3rd is Mike Richter. 2nd is Jonathan Quick. And the man with the most Stanley Cup playoff victories born in the United States, Tom Barrasso, won a couple of cups in Pittsburgh.
Jack, we got a quick load up here for the Oilers. They got McDavid and Draisaitl on the ice with Corey Perry.
Perry was on the Stars team that lost the 2020 Stanley Cup final to Tampa in 6 games. Face-off win for the Stars. Jamie Benn did not get it out. He was hit hard by Perry, and now Perry's on the puck. Got it through Wyatt Johnston. Draisaitl, cross ice, reach shot, and that stayed out. Wallman missed the net, glove side, and it clotted off the corner scoreboards all the way down the ice. Bob, I agree with you. I didn't love McDavid and Draisaitl together in the third period on Wednesday, but here they are early on Friday night in Game 2. Draisaitl with a giveaway. Marchment with a steal, juggled the puck momentarily, and then a poor backhand pass too far for Sagan, who led up and allowed Edmonton to draw an icing call. And Marchment a little panicky with the puck that time because that appeared as though the Stars might get a real good scoring chance out of it.
Well, Wallman got a terrific chance, and Heiskanen took away sort of the lower half, the inside angle. He tried to shoot around him, missed the net on a Draisaitl backhand pass through the slot from 60 feet away. And Leon can do that.
Jake Wallman, Marchment cannot. Wallman plus 11, tied for second in the league in plus-minus rating behind only Eetu Luostarinen. How about Florida?
That third line's unreal.
The Panthers, a wagon right now, trucked Carolina
they kicked the
in the first two games.
That was
well, and game one wasn't much better.
No.
Henrique off the face-off, sees the puck roll through his defensemen, Kulak and Bouchard, who fall back to their own blue line. It's Kulak up the left-hand side looking for Evander Kane, broken up. Juggled momentarily at center by Matt Duchene, knocked off his stick by Connor Brown, and quickly advanced through by Esa Lindell. Reaching for the puck is Sagan, who had 2 goals and an assist in Wednesday night's 6-3 Dallas victory. Again, Marchment fighting that puck, barely got it into the half wall. Bouchard quickly through, and it's sent in deep by Kulak. Cody Ceci up the right-hand side, didn't get it out, but Sam Steele, who's had a strong postseason, won a puck battle and now has the puck at center. Breaks in right-hand side, waits, pulls up, shoots, and missed the net. Rebound kept alive by Liam Bishop. Boy, Sam Steele has looked like a player in this Stanley Cup playoffs. He has had a real strong postseason and didn't miss the net by much. Bishop, 6'7", 235 pounds, 21 years of age, and yet he covered up against 40-year-old Corey Perry at the end of game 1. Mikko Rantanen will jam it in for Dallas. Steele in hot pursuit of that puck, comes up with it, and then stripped from behind. Then a hard hit on Troy Stecher on Mikael Granlund, and it will be called boarding likely against Granlund here. Time of the penalty, 5:34, and Edmonton awarded the first power play of the game. The Oilers converted a power play in the second period of game 1 and then misfired on 2 others, so they were 1 for 3. Granlund, none too happy with the call, but he'll go to the box.
Well, the argument might be that Troy Spetcher
kind of turned into it.
Spin back into that position.
Number 64, 2 minutes 40.
So Edmonton on the power play nearly 26% in the postseason, behind only Dallas and Carolina. And they've got an opportunity here to grab what they did in the first period of game 1, and that's a relatively early lead. McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman, Nugent Hopkins, and Bouchard, the Atco power play quintet. Atco, your trusted Alberta energy retailer. Here's the face-off to the right side of Ottinger. Draisaitl won it from Wyatt Johnston. Bouchard hits McDavid right circle. Just outside the face-off dot, he'll spin, deliver a pass back to Bouchard. Now it's McDavid. Draisaitl, deep right corner. Bouchard, one-timer, tipped home. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, power play goal, and it's 1-0 Edmonton.
Well, the Oilers get a fortuitous ricochet, but that's why you put pucks on the net. They create chaos. They don't waste any time at all. 17 seconds into the power play. Draisaitl to Bouchard. It may have picked up a piece of Hyman's stick in the high slot. It did not. It's going to be Ryan Nugent-Hopkins from Evan Bouchard and Leon Draisaitl. And so that will be RNH's 5th goal of the playoffs.
It was a tip by a Dallas player who came out to challenge, got a healthy piece of that puck. I think it was Rope Hintz who got a piece of that puck, and it skittered right to Nugent-Hopkins, who was able to tip it home. 1-0 Edmonton. Nugent-Hopkins, 5th of the postseason. He had a goal and an assist in the second period of Wednesday night's game 1, and he's back on the board here in game 2. Sagan wins the center ice faceoff from Draisaitl, and it's a reset for the Stars, but Edmonton has taken the lead in game 2. And now we had a puck exit the zone, and when Kapanen brought it back in, it was whistled down for an offside. So with 6 minutes gone by in the first period, we'll take time out. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, a power play goal for the Edmonton Oilers. They lead game 2, 1-0. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey and continuing coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs of the Oilers Radio Network.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been...
5:51 of the first period has scored a power play goal. Rope Hintz came out to challenge. It was tipped, went right to Nugent-Hopkins, and he buried it. Bouchard, the man with the initial shot, and as Bob indicated, Leon Draisaitl will pick up his second assist, and that leaves him tied with Mikko Rantanen for the league lead in points, 20 for Draisaitl and Rantanen thus far in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The neutral zone face-off controlled by Dallas.
That's why you put the puck on the net, Jack.
Bouchard a steal in the neutral zone. He'll carry it in, give it up. Hyman a shot, and that's held by Jake Ottinger, who, again, at times has been made to look ordinary by the Edmonton Oilers, and he joins a lengthy list of goaltenders who've been made to look rather ordinary, but the reason I bring it up is he has been so outstanding against virtually everyone else and just outplayed Connor Hellebuck, who's going to be the runaway Vezina winner.
But the Oilers can score. That is part of it.
Against anybody.
Against anybody.
Off the draw. It doesn't matter how good your goaltender is or thinks he is. The Edmonton Oilers could be a great cure for overconfidence for any goaltender, and now the Oilers off that draw are going to be whistled for an offside as Bouchard tried to pound it back in, with Edmonton having neglected to tag back up. And Nugent-Hopkins, McDavid, and Hyman will depart the ice, replaced by Evander Kane's line, which tonight features, of course, Adam Henrique at center and Connor Brown on the right-hand side.
I mean, this is a big game for that line. It's a big game for a lot of lines, but you know what I'm saying. It can't just be Leon and Connor's lines.
Hurst shoots it in. Grabbed by Granlund. Up to Rantanen. Tried to slide it through to Hintz. Nudged one on net. Skinner just flicked it into the corner, and it was played up the right-hand side and out by Troy Stecher. Adam Henrique with Ceci coming over on him. Cody Ceci the last 3 years with Edmonton. A couple of trips to the Western Conference Final and one to the Stanley Cup Final. Hintz engages Darnell Nurse. Rantanen tried to give it back to his line mate, but had it disrupted by Stecher. Now fighting for possession is Granlund, who took the penalty to set Edmonton up with the power play, which they converted. Ceci in front, stolen away by Adam Henrique. Good defensive play, and Connor Brown makes certain of a clear up the right-hand board. Ceci, wearing number 44 in Dallas, will leave it in the corner for Thomas Harley. Harley's lead pass. Nearly stolen by Janmark. Jason Robertson, he's been struggling. Told me this morning, I'm nowhere close right now. I'm not getting enough chances. I got to keep my feet moving and stay connected on my line. And his line is the fourth line tonight. Blackwell to the point for Heiskanen. Slide step to his left. Boy, he's so smooth. Lindell. Shot Robertson. Loose. Robertson again, and a glove save made by Stuart Skinner. Robertson's best chance of the series. And then some hard work in, and we might have a penalty here on Edmonton.
It is. Corey Perry's. I ain't going to get it. I'm sorry, you can't do that. You can't do it.
Blackwell drew it. And indeed, Corey Perry will be sent to the box. Perry took one of the 3 penalties that Edmonton coughed up in game 1.
Number 90, 2 minutes, roughing.
So the Dallas Stars gifted a power play, having gone 3 for 4 in scoring on their last 3 the other night.
I mean, Skinner makes a great save. There's no concern. What are you doing? I mean, I don't know if that should have been to Perry, but there's no need for that. By the way, we talked about the fact that, you know, Ottinger, the Oilers are the team that's gotten them. Well, they're the highest scoring team that's been in the playoffs each of the last 3 years. Like over that 3-year run, Edmonton, highest scoring team that's played more than 1 round of the playoffs.
Off the draw, won by Henrique. And I'm not blaming Ottinger, but Bob, my point is you can't go into a series against Edmonton and rely on a supposed goaltending advantage, because the Oilers are going to negate that.
They can score.
Here's Rope Hintz. Duchesne forced it back behind the Edmonton net. And Skinner with a turnover. Mikko Rantanen from the right corner. Duchesne, Heiskanen, Rantanen right corner again. Pestered by Janmark. Up top, Brown will crowd Heiskanen. Back to Rantanen in the corner. Across, wrist shot. And that stayed out. Taken by Matt Duchesne, who scored the game winner on the power play on Wednesday night. Tugged free by Rantanen. He'll send it across to Duchesne, who turned it over and allowed an Edmonton clear by Matthias Janmark.
Oh, real good pressure there from the combination of Janmark and Brown, but Dallas almost freed up the luck of the Oilers. Jack, they were lucky that puck didn't ricochet into the net.
Here's Mikael Granlund breaking across the blue line. McDavid is out on the kill with Zach Hyman. Morris and Wallman centering pass, that was tipped. Grabbed by Sagan, and he turned it over. And now you've got McDavid, a 2-on-1 with Hyman. McDavid to the net, shoots off the post. And the rebound over to Sagan, whose turnover led to that chance. And that was a hard shot from McDavid. Robertson off the rush, stopped by Skinner. From the high slot, the rebound grabbed by Hyman. He turned it over. And Dallas given new life here. Controlling is Robertson. Up to Granlund. One-timer Sagan had it blocked by Wallman and out of play. With 10:35 to go in this first period and 18 seconds left in the Napa Auto Parts penalty kill.
Well, Stuart Skinner with a couple pretty good saves here, and what a chance for McDavid. And he went short side blocker.
Had him beat.
And
hit the goalpost.
Had him beat clean.
Got the benefit of a few posts in game one. Off the draw. Wyatt Johnston, just 10 seconds left on this power play for Dallas. Johnston's been very quiet. 1 goal, 1 point in his last 8 games, and he's minus 13 over that stretch. Here's a toss by Henrique into the corner, and that will do it for the Edmonton penalty kill. Corey Perry out of the box. This time his penalty does not cost the Oilers. And now Perry with a steal at center. He's got Leon Draisaitl. 3-on-2. Perry centers. Draisaitl denied by Ottinger, who lunged out and got it with the right pad as Draisaitl tried to redirect it home. Stars had a chance to clear. Great job by Nurse to hold it in, albeit momentarily. And now you've got Dadonov. He's been quiet as well this postseason. Johnston will twist it down low. Dadonov coming off his 5th 20-goal season. Nurse lead pass broken up, but the Stars were unable to get it in deep. Draisaitl hits the Dallas line, knifed off his stick. Rantanen wants an outlet from Ceci. That's slow in coming. It was deflected and grabbed by Hintz in full stride. That's got to be offside. Granlund was not moving. Hintz was, and as a result, the timing of the play thrown off, and it's an offside whistled against Dallas, and we'll take timeout. 9:27 to go in the first period. Edmonton has converted its first power play of the game and killed Dallas's first power play. Nugent Hopkins, goal the difference right now. It's 1-0 Edmonton. This is game 2 of the Western Conference Final. The Oilers Radio Network.
Ready to score big on your outdoor space? It's game time with Park Landscaping. Transform your backyard into a winning arena.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Just want to clarify one thing for the first 10 minutes. Bob and I had a chance to delve further into that scrum, which resulted in Colin Blackwell being flung to the ice. And while it appeared as though the guilty party was Corey Perry, there was actually a stray arm belonging to Trent Frederick that yanked him down. So Perry, perhaps by reputation, ushered into the penalty box. In any event, Edmonton killed it off. No harm, no foul. 1-0 Oilers here halfway through the first period. The aforementioned Trent Frederick is on the ice, and a neutral zone faceoff ultimately pulled free by Edmonton. Nurse and Stetcher trade, and it's bumped in by Frederick. Janmark plays center on this line, and now a centering pass got through to Evander Kane from Frederick, and Kane had it go off the heel of his stick. Stetcher to Nurse, long shot, clean look at it, and a glove save made by Jake Ottinger. 9:02 to go in the first period, and it's 1-0 Edmonton on a power play goal by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
So Alex Petrovic on the ice with Evander Kane. And,
he lost 3 fights in one game.
It wasn't exactly Ward Gotti with the trilogy.
No. It was 3 one-sided affairs.
But you give Petrovic credit. He kept on coming back for more and sticking his chin out there. And Evander landed a couple bombs on him. This was Buffalo, Florida back in the day.
So now digging in Wyatt Johnston beats McDavid off the face-off, and a long stretch from Lindell does not make it through. Broken up by Bouchard. McDavid on the counterattack. In turn stripped. Heiskanen will give it up left side for Jamie Benn. The Dallas captain called himself a checker when Wayne Gretzky visited the Dallas room following the Stars' 6-game series win against Winnipeg. McDavid on the puck retrieval at his own blue line. Wired in by Nugent Hopkins. Came off the plexi and hacked away from Hyman by Esa Lindell. Ben did not get it out of the zone. Lindell will. And that puck is settled and corralled and resetting is Jake Wallman out there with his partner John Klingberg, who was so instrumental in that Dallas club that made hay in the bubble, went all the way to the 2020 final. Stars unable to get it out. And then an errant pass from Draisaitl chases everyone back. Klingberg will catch up to it as Skinner leaves it for him. Wound around to put Colson at center ice. He misfired on a pass intended for Kapanen, and Harley immediately redirected it back through center. It's Klingberg back through the middle. That's going to be on net, set by Ottinger for Harley.
Does Marchman try to drop balls or what?
Stretch play to Matt Duchene, a shot and a save made by Stuart Skinner. The problem for that with Mason Marchman is the refs are onto him. 7:39 to go in the first period, and it's 1-0 for the Edmonton Oilers. And again, Marchman, back-to-back 20-goal campaigns for the Dallas Stars. He's just got one in the postseason. So lots of things to go over for both hockey clubs coming into game 2.
Leon Draisaitl went in, and Marchman gave him a little bit of a shot. So Draisaitl gave him a little bit of a love tap, chop with the stick, and Marchman flung his hand up in the air and tried to embellish and induce the call.
Face-off win for Rope Hintz. Bischel to Granlund. Top of the left circle. Shot off the post. That beats Skinner cleanly glove side. I'm not sure how much he saw of it. The rebound whacked away from Evander Kane. Rantanen looking for Hintz. He'll brush it over to Granlund, who just hit the goalpost. Bischel, left corner. Granlund behind the net. Peering inside. Granlund chipped it in front, and Hintz couldn't stuff it home. It's still available. Side of the net. Grabbed by Stetcher. He'll escape. Punished by Granlund and held in for the moment by Petrovic, and now finally tugged free. And the Oilers come up ice, but that disappeared into one of the two player benches. And because it originated from the Edmonton zone, this faceoff will be to the left of Stuart Skinner.
Jack, the Dallas Stars are selling out on the forecheck against the pairing of Nurse and Stetcher. They're really trying to push it. They're backing off a bit when it's Bouchard on the ice with Kulak and when it's Wallman with Klingberg, but they're trying to put Nurse and Stetcher under duress.
Blackwell will take the face-off against Leon Draisaitl. Fourth line out for Dallas. Sam Steele and the struggling Jason Robertson, who got hurt in the last regular season game, missed the Colorado series, and since coming back has just 2 assists in 7 games.
But he can break out at any time.
He can. 40 goals 3 years ago, 29 2 years ago, 35 this year. Steele won the face-off after being moved in, and a shot by Harley missed upstairs on Stuart Skinner. Rebound to Draisaitl. He'll chip it off the board. Settled down at center by Harley. Put it across for Robertson. Not ready to field that pass. Then wrestled it free from Janmark, but the play was offside against Dallas, who has outshot Edmonton 10-7 with 6:47 to go in this first period, and the Oilers holding a 1-0 lead. Power play goal, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, his 22nd career Stanley Cup playoff goal.
Wow, but David hitting the crossbar post on a 2-on-1 shorthanded, then Draisaitl robbed. Real good save by Ottinger, and a nice setup from Corey Perry on a slow developing 3-on-2. Edmonton's had their chances here to add to the lead.
And then Granlund hit a post for Dallas. Face-off win for Wyatt Johnston. Hoisted up top by Liam Bischel. Grabbed by Kulak in his own zone. Ben forces a giveaway. Wyatt Johnston against Janmark. And another 30-goal campaign did Wyatt Johnston. He's battling, engaged in the corner. Ben getting worked over, drive by Petrovac, and that stayed out. I'm not sure how much Skinner saw that. A lot of bodies in front, and Edmonton able to angle one back through center. Frederick and Perry up ice trying to create havoc, but taken away by Jamie Benn. And the Stars captain will send Wyatt Johnston in on the forecheck against Brett Kulak. Getting some help from Dodonov. McDavid close by, able to peel that puck out of danger, and then a soft chip ahead for Frederick. He'll back his way at the blue line and conservatively reset as Marchment once again goes right at McDavid and tries to get inside his sweater.
That was a peck. He should have been called.
Here's Kulak. Off of 1 foot up the right-hand side. That was deflected. Backhanded toward the middle. Now McDavid a steal. Riding off a check from Matt Duchene, and the shot up top is speared by Ottinger at the expense of Jake Wollman. But that was on net. And Ottinger able to make his 7th save. Keeping the game 1-0 Edmonton. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins power play goal the difference. 5.5 to go first period. This is game 2 of the Western Conference Final on 4 Dealers, NHL Hockey, and the Oilers Radio Network. Well, typically the Edmonton Oilers shrug off a Game 1 defeat. In their history, they're actually 14-10 in best-of-7 series when they drop the first game. The exception is the Dallas Stars. They're 0-5 against the Stars when they start with a Game 1 defeat. They're trying to change that history, having blown Game 1, leading 3-1 in the third, dropped a 6-3 decision. But up 1-0 in Game 2, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, a power play goal. Face-off won by Dallas at its own end, and Esa Lindell will shoot it in from center. Quickly, Wollman up to Bouchard, not out of the zone. Granlund knocked off balance by Zach Hyman, the league's hit leader, with 90 coming in thus far in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Nurse tried to hit Draisaitl, tipped to McDavid instead, defended by Heiskanen, and still got a shot away, and a save made by Jake Ottinger. But I don't mind the fact that McDavid is looking to shoot here in this first period. Wollman down low, Heiskanen, the steal against McDavid. He'll carry it to center, chip it up the right-hand side, and Rope Hintz never located the puck. Granlund did, gave Nugent-Hopkins a pop, and Edmonton will finish off a line change as Bouchard quarterbacks in his own zone. 4.5 to play in the first period. Edmonton 1, Dallas no score. Draisaitl hits Podkolzin, whiffs on a shot, then tried to center. Off of Ottinger and somehow stayed out. Cleared off the blue paint by Cody Ceci. And Ottinger continues to swim at times in this series. It's Draisaitl. Tried to give it back to the point. Under duress, Ceci trying to pry it loose. Those two extremely good friends off the ice. But here grabbed by Thomas Harley of the Dallas Stars, up the middle, steal, absorbs a poke check, got it through Colin Blackwell on to Jason Robertson. Then Blackwell stapled back behind the net, pinching hard as Harley. Kapanen working him over. Kapanen ended the Vegas series. Harley, centering pass, intercepted, and the Oilers will bust out. Podkolzin the steal, gets it back from Kapanen, tried to return it, but that went off a skate and back to the Edmonton line. Stetcher to Kapanen, just inside the Dallas blue. He'll force it down low. Ottinger sealed it off for Bischel. Bischel waited a hair too long and then fired a pass intended for Marchment that somehow was not called icing. They waved it off immediately, curiously enough. Connor Brown, little give and go with Evander Kane. Back through the middle, Petrovic there to cut it off. He'll send it off the glass back to center. Out of the reach of Adam Henrique, and the Stars will pick it up and shoot it in. Matt Duchene doing the honors. Jumping up is Petrovic to hold the zone. Fluttered one toward the net, carefully swept into the corner by Stuart Skinner. Duchene, double team on the left half boards. Can't control and just swept right out of there by Adam Henrique. Stetcher to Nurse, and both teams will make wholesale changes in personnel. Shots on goal, 10-9 Dallas in this first period. 2:45 remaining, clock running. Nugent-Hopkins, the game's only goal. A dump in by Matthias Janmark, who broke into the league with the Dallas Stars. In fact, had a career-high 19 goals in a Dallas Kelly Green uniform. Here's Dodonov trying to center. That was broken up by Klingberg. Behind the net, Wyatt Johnston. Immediately on him is Brett Kulak. Corey Perry tried to wedge it safely out. Klingberg tried to help him out. Still in the zone. Dodonov down low for Jamie Benn from behind the net. Sets up Cece's shot. And that stayed out. And the rebound all the way off the Dashers and back inside the Dallas blue line as we come up on 2 minutes to play in this opening period. Harley backhands one ahead for Mikko Rantanen. Soft saucer across. Lindell a shot, and that ricocheted into the corner. Oilers come up with a puck. It's Nugent Hopkins jitterbugging his way to center, and then he centered off the glove of Heiskanen, who knocked it down and in one motion weaves his way through center to Lindell. He tried to shoot it in, didn't get it in cleanly, partially tipped, and that allowed Bouchard to give it right back to Granlund. Granlund was situated at the blue line, and Bouchard handed it right to him. Now it's Mikko Rantanen against McDavid. McDavid, the clean steal, and it's a 3-on-2 for Edmonton. Left to right, McDavid with the puck, gives it up. Nugent Hopkins tied up with Heiskanen. And that's the value of having Miro Heiskanen back at full strength, Bob. It was the first time in Game 1 that Dallas felt comfortable dressing just 6 defensemen and giving Heiskanen 24 minutes. He broke up that 3-on-2 like he knew exactly what Edmonton was doing. Here's Darnell Nurse. Off at Dallas dumping with a minute to go in the period. Lead pass, Kasperi Kapanen. Now it's Draisaitl building speed through the neutral zone. Heading for the Dallas net, trying to center for Kapanen, broken up. Draisaitl with a steal. Quick shot, but Colson rebound available, and Kapanen thought he was hauled down. No penalty called. Ottinger got a piece, but it was sitting right there on the blue pane, and Kapanen missed it. Now you've got Draisaitl heading to the net. Had a goal and 2 assists in Game 1, wrapped up here by Harley, and that's going to be a penalty. A no-doubter. Harley horse-collared him to the ice with 30 seconds to go in this first period, and the Oilers presented with a golden opportunity to go up 2 before the break.
Minor penalty for holding.
I mean, that's just an easy call, and it's because Harley's frustrated because he can't get to the puck. That's the value of Leon Draisaitl and the power forward status he enjoys in the league. When he wants to make himself wide, you just cannot get the puck.
Well, he won the puck battle, got inside positioning, horse collar to the ice. I mean, they got Des Bryant in the building right now, and he's saying to himself, there's cornerbacks and safeties that had problems hauling him down like that. Oilers get their second power play of the game. They're 2 for 4 in this series. And Jack, sometimes we've seen late in periods when Edmonton's on the power play, they quickly put pucks to the net. That's how they scored on the last power play. Get it to the net, attack to the net, create some chaos. Got to win draws, too. Got to win draws.
Draisaitl on the face-off, and Dallas did a reasonable job on draws, but here Draisaitl won it cleanly against Colin Blackwell, and now you've got McDavid in front, broken up by Ceci and cleared by Blackwell down the ice. Skinner ahead to Bouchard. Still plenty of time for Edmonton here. 15 seconds. Bouchard onto the on-rushing McDavid, building speed across the line, coughed it up. Dallas nudges it to Sam Steele. He'll wire it down the ice, and that'll be all for the opening 20 minutes. The Oilers will get a clean sheet of ice and a power play of 1:30 to start period 2 with Harley in the box, having cleanly wrestled man to the ice. 1-0 Edmonton. Nugent Hopkins, power play goal. Bouchard and Draisaitl with the helpers. And the Oilers, who led after 2 periods on Wednesday night, leads 1-0 after the first period here tonight. The final shots for now, 11 for Dallas, 10 for Edmonton. And again, the Oilers, the difference in the game, have converted their power play. Dallas did not. It was the difference in the game on Wednesday night as well, when Dallas outscored Edmonton 3-1 on the power play and won the game 6-3 with an empty netter. Hard to quibble once again with the way the Oilers have come out here in game 2.
Just wish.
So the time, 5:51. Nugent Hopkins out there with Draisaitl again, McDavid, Bouchard, and rounding out the power play quintet will be Zach Hyman. It's brought to you by Atco Energy, your trusted Alberta retailer. We're underway here in the second period with Dallas having won that faceoff. Sam still getting the job done, and Essa Lindell dumps it in. Now Steele giving Nugent Hopkins fits, trying to keep it alive for Colin Blackwell, inserted into the lineup. Beautiful drag move around Bouchard, who got just enough of the puck to knock it off Blackwell's stick and allow Zach Hyman to bring it back the other way. Oilers right to left in the white uniforms, and another steal by Blackwell, who fires it down the ice. Skinner will knock it down for Bouchard, and here come the Oilers, leading 1-0. The back pass is to Connor McDavid. Still 45 seconds left in the man advantage. Nugent Hopkins across the line, left point for Bouchard. Nugent Hopkins on the half wall. McDavid from the corner. Hyman in the slot. Beautiful feed. Hyman tried to tuck it, but that pass was behind Nugent Hopkins, handled on the left half boards. Bouchard gives it back to Nugent Hopkins. Downloaded Draisaitl. What a save, Ottinger. His best of the series as Draisaitl tried to flip it over the blocker. Draisaitl given another opportunity by Bouchard. Just didn't have enough snap on that shot. He'll give it for McDavid. Pressure from Lindell. Spin move to the net. Ottinger, one save, and then reaches out and pulls it into his chest as the power play dwindles down to 8 seconds. Minute 22 gone by, second period. 1-0 for Edmonton, and Ottinger, I thought that was his best save of the series on Draisaitl.
No question. Leon came in, tried to elevate the puck over him. Oilers a little bit late, and they created a different look there. Just a little bit of a mistime as they went, instead of going from flank to flank, they cut back up the middle, back behind the goal. They rarely do that. And then it was a pass off, and unfortunately, Bouchard couldn't pick the puck up cleanly, or he had a chance to rifle one.
Adam Henrique on the ice. Connor Brown, John Klingberg, Jake Wallman, and Evander Kane. Face-off won by Dallas. Ceci ducks behind his own net and rifles it down the middle. Skinner to settle it, but the penalty to Harley is over, and Dallas has killed it off. Oilers maintain a 1-0 lead. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer with you from high atop our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth, perched in a mountainous American Airlines arena. A little dump in by Woolman is gloved by Ottinger, and a face-off coming in the Dallas defensive zone.
To me, it looks like Kane's got an issue with his skate. Had a pivot challenge on the ice, but he stayed out here.
Henry, the ozone draw against Rope Hintz for Dallas. Stars dispatched Colorado in 7, Winnipeg in 6. Edmonton rallied from 2-0 down to beat LA in 6, and then knocked out Vegas in 5. Both teams had finished ahead of Edmonton during the regular season. If the Oilers are able to advance in the Western Conference Final, they'll play host to either Florida or Carolina in the Stanley Cup Final. Winner of this series has home ice, is another way of saying it. Because the East combatants finish behind both Dallas and Edmonton. Florida will have an opportunity to gain a stranglehold in this series. Brown thought he was high-sticked. Is there a late call coming? No, it's ruled that he got hit with the heel of someone's skate.
Yeah, they're just
came up on Connor Brown, and it's a safety issue.
Great pickup by you right away. They were concerned.
He basically got kicked in the jaw, and I think he's okay. Granlund went flying into him, and his boot caught him right underneath the chin, and that could have been a lot worse. He just toe-picked, did Kyle Granlund, and the left leg kind of went recklessly up in the air.
You always worry about that.
Absolutely. Bob and I were witness to a horrifying incident in Columbus about 13 years ago when Corey Potter, with a fallen Taylor Hall in front of him, tried to jump over his teammate and caught him with a skate, cut him for a number of zippers, and somehow the guy on site in Columbus did an amazing job with that cut, and today it's a relatively minuscule scar. Here's Nurse up the middle, easy for me to say. Draisaitl ahead for Matthias Janmark, well defended by Haskin, an open man is Stetcher, and he wires it just over the net off the plexi. If he had scored there, Bob, that interview would instantly have grown into legendary status.
I think it already,
if he followed it up with a goal.
I think it already is in legendary status.
Well, you were walking around like you were 10 feet tall during the intermission after he told you how smart you were. Here's Darnell Nurse, although I don't think anyone's going to remember that part of the interview.
No, I don't think so.
Stetcher Giving it back to Nurse with 2.5 gone by in the second period. It's Draisaitl gaining the line, but Harley stands him up and then gave it right back to Janmark. Sloppy turnover by Harley. He'll make amends by getting the puck back onto Haskinen's stick. And it's punched forward by Matt Duchene. 1-0 Edmonton. Skinner plays the puck through Tyler Seguin and Duchene. Nugent Hopkins won a puck battle. Here's McDavid over the line. Hits Bouchard, and his shot was tipped off the plexi and out of play with 3 minutes gone by in the second period. And the Oilers haven't come out in the second and once again gotten to Dallas a little bit. Still a 1-0 game. Nugent Hopkins' first period power play goal. The only difference, Stetcher, that shot went off Robertson and over the net. Didn't miss by much.
Jack, the Oilers are getting some opportunities off the rush here. They're able to quickly try, and this is the advantage of you go out, you bring in Klingberg, and you add Wallman. Guys that can move the puck up the ice. The Oilers can transition it. And they're creating some odd mans.
McDavid against Jamie Benn in the face-off circle. Benn won it. Hoisted up ice by Lindell, but knocked down by Bouchard and shoveled right back into the Dallas zone. Lindell to Cody Ceci. Hard up the boards. Knocked down by McDavid. Crowding Ceci, who did well to battle back and force a rolling puck into the Edmonton zone. Bouchard didn't want any part of the forechecking Jamie Benn, but was able to duck out of that potential altercation and eventually backhanded up to Hyman. Engaged in a fierce battle with Lindell in center ice that Lindell wins. Now you've got Dadonov heading for the net, spinning, centering wildly onto the stick of Granlund. A shot hits Skinner in the back. An awkward-looking save, but an effective one nonetheless. Lindell, soft chip down low. Dadonov tied up with Kulak. Stepping up as Ceci to keep it alive for Granlund. Thought about dishing out to the high slot. Elects to keep it on his stick, and that shot is swallowed up by Stuart Skinner, who has been perfect thus far on 13 Dallas Stars shots on goal. 1-0 Edmonton.
Well, there's the RVH there from Stuart Skinner. And Jack, there's a situation where 30 years ago you would never play that as a netminder. You'd just be square to a shot. And instead, with how guys play technically in goals, sometimes you can bank one in off his ear. And that's what we've seen Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl do that. And the Dallas Stars tried to rip one home there, and Skinner fought it off.
Face off to Skinner's left. You've got Rope Hintz against Leon Draisaitl. Game 2 of this best-of-7 Western Conference Final. Bob and I will have Game 3 for you. Remember, it's a Sunday matinee. 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Oilers Stars Game 3 from Rogers Place. Lead pass on the wing is Leon Draisaitl. He'll spin and protect on the backhand. Off to Wallman. A shot just wide. And the rebound, a live hop off the Dashers.
Wow.
Taken by Mikko Rantanen. Boy, that jumped off the Dashers. Here's Rantanen. Hard to the net. Wrist shot. And he pushed it wide. Draisaitl might have gotten a piece of that shot at the very last instant. And it was dug out by Kapanen back towards center. But Colson across to Klingberg and then back behind the net for Jake Wallman. Then on Tuesday night, Game 4 will be a 7 o'clock start at Rogers Place. Just to set the table for you for the 2 games at Edmonton at the beginning of the week. Oilers get it in deep. Sam Steele leaves it for Harley. Under duress, gets it in for Blackwell. On the move is Steele. Robertson juggles, mishandles. He's clearly fighting the puck. And wires it in deep. Stetcher reverses to Nurse. Back to Stetcher. 14:45 to go in the second period. Ahead to Connor Brown. Now Nurse jumps up, activates, and tried to dish to Evander Kane. Broken up. Petrovic in close quarters. Up the boards, but not out. Stetcher barrels his way down the right-hand side. He's historically had very good numbers in the postseason. Nurse, kind of a half shot, half pass that ends up wide. Stetcher, he was stuffed as he tried to release from the right half boards, and that caromed all the way out to center. Nurse up to Evander Kane at the red line. Hard hit from Matt Duchene. Kane got it back and behind Liam Bichel. The towering Dallas defenseman tried to reverse it up the wall. Stolen by Janmark. Wide open. Shot off of Butcher. Rebound back into the blue paint. And the Stars come away with it. What a good look. And yet, Trent Frederick denied by Jake Ottinger. Frederick's had a couple of good looks in this series. Whiffed on a loose puck in game one.
Well, that was the killer because it was 4-3 when that happened.
That time, a good save from Jake Ottinger prevented Frederick from getting his second goal of the Stanley Cup playoffs. CeCe, in the meantime, to Harlan. Off an Edmonton dump in, D-to-D, and now Jamie Benn. Through the middle of the ice, gives way. Shot Johnston, glove save made by an off-balance Stuart Skinner, who nevertheless lays the puck to rest. With 6.5 minutes gone by in this second period, the score remains Edmonton 1, Dallas 0. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, the game's only goal about 6 minutes in. We're live from Dallas, Texas, and the sold-out American Airlines Center with Game 2 of the Western Conference Final. The Oilers Radio Network.
At Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, they recommend pairing locally distilled spirits and their ice-cold beer selection. Network.
Well, the Edmonton Oilers in the opening round of the Stanley Cup playoffs rallied from 2 games to none, down for like the second time in their history to win a playoff series, and they're hoping to avoid any thoughts of having to do that again here in the third round. I want to remind everyone, you've got an opportunity to win 500,000 Scene Plus points and $10,000 cash with our early bird prizing as part of the Oilers Kids and Country playoff 50-50. Right now, the jackpot's sitting at just a shade under $2 million, and the playoff bonus jackpot over $4.4 million. So get on it. Oilers.com/5050. And now we've got a puck play with a high stick and a face-off coming back in the Oilers zone with 13:07 to go in the second period. And Edmonton leading by the slimmest of margins at 1-0. The Oilers have outshot the Stars 15-13 in the game, and in this period, 5-2. Nugent-Hopkins, the game's only goal on the power play back in the first.
Dallas is starting to win some face-offs. We were even through one period, Jack, 11 each, but the Stars are now up to 57%, so they won most of the draws here in the second, and now Leon gets waved out.
Sagan will take it against the silly Podkolzin to Stuart Skinner's left-hand side. Podkolzin won the draw. Wallman behind the net had his pocket picked by Mason Marchment, who absorbs a check, circles the net, centers. Duchesne's shot was blocked. Rebound out to Harlan. From the left point, he'll feed Sagan, who lost the handle.
Great play by Podkolzin to help create the turnover.
Sagan missed 5 months this season undergoing hip surgery. He's had both hips done, and he looked great in game 1 of this series, scoring twice and adding an assist. Here's Sagan off a dump in from Edmonton. He'll carry it to center. Left to right, puts the brakes on as he hit the line, and then Kapanen booted it back to center. Harley guides one over to Petrovic, who ambles his way to center and dumps it in. Petrovic, not only 6 games to oh, here's a backhander off a turnover and a save made by Stuart Skinner. Wow. A tough save, point blank on Mikko Rantanen after a dreadful turnover, then nudged in front. Rantanen misses with Nurse having potentially gotten his stick on that shot. Rantanen's had 2 point-blank looks, can't come up with a third as Connor Brown clears up the left-hand side, spilled in by Podkolzin and retrieved by Bishop.
Not sure why Janmark was out on the ice there with Podkolzin and Kapanen. Leon went for a quick shift.
Oh, a mishandle by Skinner. Robertson off a turnover, can't find it, and by the time he does, he turns it over. Skinner has had a few miscues in terms of handling the puck. Brown has shot off the pads of Jake Ottinger. Juicy rebound. Kulak. And his shot misses wide. But Robertson right now, Bob, is fighting the puck. He just doesn't have any kind of feel. Here's Corey Perry backhanding it down low. Jason Robertson led Dallas with 35 goals during the regular season, second on the team in scoring behind only Matt Duchene. Got injured in game 82 and hasn't been himself. That looked like offside as Rope Hintz carried it in. Henry collided with a member of the Stars, and he's shaken up. As he groggily gets up, the Stars still have puck possession down low. To Donoff, to Robertson, to the point, and held in by Essa Lindell, who marks his 31st birthday today. with the 100th playoff game of his Stanley Cup career.
Oilers need a change here. This line's in a little bit of duress.
They clear it back to the Dallas line. Edmonton unable to complete it. Jamie Benn had it poke checked away. Following up is Wyatt Johnston. Hard pressure on Henrique. Puck came through to Evan Bouchard. Did not get it out. Henrique trying to burrow his way inside on Johnston. Flicked out in front. Kulak won a battle against Dadonov. And the puck is reversed by Perry to Bouchard, who looks for a clear up the right-hand side. And again, the Stars able to hem the Oilers in. Kulak given another opportunity. That time he finds Corey Perry, and it's brushed down deep into the Dallas zone, and Edmonton will get a long-awaited change. Halfway through the hockey game, 1-0 Edmonton in Game 2 of the Western Conference Final. Here's Marchment under duress. Woolman blasted him into the corner and now has control of the puck. McDavid wants an outlet. Woolman can't get it to him, but eludes not one but two Stars and shovels it down the middle. Dallas fans wanted a holding call away from the play. In the meantime, Sagan through the neutral zone. Drop pass, loading up, shooting is Duchesne. And Klingberg was in the shot lane and blocked it. Rebound Duchesne. Now Tyler Sagan out to the point. Harley off balance. A shot deflected up over top off the glass. And now we've got a call. Was it play with a high stick by a Dallas player? Off the glass and then to Marchment. Was that the call?
You're right. Yep, you got her.
So a neutral zone face-off when we return. Marchment pleading his case. 9:23 left in the second period. Stuart Skinner a misplay, but Corey Perry able to bail him out with a steal. And Edmonton's 1-0 lead remains intact as we send you to break from Dallas, Texas, and the American Airlines Center. It's Game 2 of the Western Conference Final. The Oilers Radio Network.
Bloom Benefits offers amazing coverage that even the toughest hockey players can get behind. With excellent coverage, they offer things like massage. You want to go? Counseling services. Let's go. Dental coverage. That was not offside. And eye exams.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Welcome back inside our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth alongside Bob Stauffer. I'm Jack Michaels. We're live in Dallas, Texas. Rob Brown and Brendan Escott back in our 880 Ched Studios, flagship home of the Oilers Radio Network. Game 2 of this Western Conference Final. Nugent Hopkins, a power play goal in the first. It's 1-0 for Edmonton. Adam Henrique, we told you, was stunned on a collision in his last shift. He finished the shift, and now he has been led underneath by head athletic trainer T.D. Force. So for right now, 11 forwards available for Chris Knobloch as we resume play with a neutral zone face-off that's flipped in by Nugent Hopkins toward Ottinger. He'll set it level for Esa Lindell. Up the glass and out. Rantanen bumped it free for Hintz, then got it back, tried to throw it across for an activating Heiskanen, and that was picked off and cleared back the other way by Nugent Hopkins. Lindell swept it out of the corner to Heiskanen. He'll ram it off the boards to the Edmonton blue line, out of the reach of Mikhail Granlund, and now a turnover by Heiskanen. Hyman, a drop pass, and Nugent Hopkins, a wrist shot that does not make its way through. The rebound momentarily sitting in the high slot, grabbed by Dallas. And Wyatt Johnston and Mikko Rantanen swoop into the offensive zone. Bouchard, a good play on Rantanen. Played down low by Jamie Benn, the Stars captain. Johnston thrust off the puck by Nugent Hopkins, and Bouchard has ample room to clear, which he does up the right-hand side to Hyman, and it's dropped in by McDavid as Dallas retrieves.
Dallas is starting to get a little bit more physical here, Jack.
Cody Ceci up to Dadonov. He fanned on a dump-in attempt, and it's Draisaitl to Kapanen. A quick counter here. Kapanen pulls up top of the right circle, rolls it around for Podkolzin. Shot Woolman, stick save made by Ottinger. Rebound Ceci for the Dallas Stars. Loose in the corner, four-player scrum. Flipped out Woolman. Across, juggled by Bouchard momentarily, and then thrust back down low. Draisaitl hovering close by. Peeled out of there by Dadonov and swung back to center, where Bouchard will knock it down for Woolman. 7.5 to go, second period. Still a 1-0 game here in Game 2 of the West Final. Kapanen, Kane, centering pass, and Draisaitl did not handle it on his backhand. Won't see that too often. Stetcher will wind it around for Evander Kane. That was a good look from Kane. Down low for Trent Frederick, who bobbled and then got it back empty mark. Kulak is open. Shot redirected by Kane and held by Ottinger. Evander Kane a factor on that shift, and Frederick rode out of there by a pair of stars with 7:10 to go in the second period. And the Oilers holding a 1-0 lead.
That's Evander Kane's best shift of the series, Jack. I mean, he made a tremendous pass. Leon Draisaitl was towards the end of his shift, just couldn't pick it up. And then created another look with a flyby and a net drive and hacked the puck out of the goal. Well, thank you, I'll have one of those later.
Face off, right side of goaltender Jake Ottinger, 7:10 to play. A steamy afternoon in Dallas, Texas, with temperatures well into the mid-30s and a high rate of humidity. Digging in for the face-off, Connor McDavid. Now playing with Kane. Kept it alive for Kane in the high slot. Corey Perry's the third member of this line as Chris Knobloch continues to tinker. Now remember, Adam Henrique is unavailable for now. Kulak, left point. But that hasn't really slowed Chris Knobloch. We've seen several different combinations, 5-on-5 tonight. Flipped in by Rantanen. Evan Bouchard looking to escape. Up the left-hand side of Evander Kane with control. The puck ahead for Connor McDavid. Breaks in with Corey Perry. Put it behind the net. Ottinger. Fairly good puck handler, but put it in a tough spot for Haskin. Did well to get it through McDavid, but Kane and Perry roll over to choke any sort of offensive thrust up ice off. Lindell, lead pass. Finally Rantanen able to get it in deep, but he's at the end of his shift. Oilers with possession. Darnell Nurse is going to back off with Duchesne tracking him. Over to Troy Stetcher. Now Nurse on the left-hand side. Took his eye off the puck, regained, and saw it slashed in deep by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Connor Brown in on the forecheck. Look at this line with Nugent-Hopkins, Brown, and Hyman paired together. Oilers shovel it down low. Stetcher looking for Brown in close quarters against Bishop. Puck well protected by Dallas and cleared by Sagan. Marchment hits the line with Matt Duchesne. Matt Duchesne's shot held by Skinner from a tough angle. That's a routine save, and Skinner's been perfect on 15 shots thus far. 5:39 to go in the second period. Nugent-Hopkins power play goal in the first. Still the difference right now. It's 1-0 Edmonton in Game 2 of the West Final with 4 dealers NHL hockey. The Oilers Radio Network.
The same AI-powered technology that helps Oilers fans move through security efficiently at Rogers Place is also available for Edmonton area schools, hospitals, and workplaces. Evolve Technology, proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers and official security screening partner of Rogers Place, helps identify potential threats and create safe experiences at hockey games and wherever people gather. Visit Rogers Place to experience Evolve live or check out evolve.com for more information. That's EVOLV.com.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions take one for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman. Are you ready, guys?
We were born ready. Heck yes, Nuge. Drop the beat.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
We freaking killed it, Nuge. That's what I'm talking about, Zachary Martin Hyman.
Nice guys. We're going to sell a lot of air conditioners.
Hey, doesn't Legacy offer no payments and no interest for a year on those?
Yeah, well, thanks for the assist on the copy points there, Nuge.
It's just what I do.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Pizza 73, the official pizza of your Edmonton Oilers. Loyal to the oil, in Edmonton we trust. Rising to the top like a pizza crust. Got the flavors to play, yeah, cooking on ice. Hunger happens, gotta score a slice. Let's go Oilers, Econ unite. Ice District to Jasper, downtown to White. Wearing orange and blue, game on the street. Make the right call, Pizza 73.
737373, Pizza 73.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Edmonton had a streak of 13 consecutive victories in the playoffs when leading after 2 periods. Snapped on Wednesday night. They'd love to start a new streak along those lines, and they're 5.5 minutes away from doing exactly that. A 1-0 lead, late second period. A face-off coming to Stuart Skinner's right-hand side. Draisaitl will take it and lose it against Roope Hintz. Wrist shot, glove save made by Skinner up top, and I thought Hintz was taken down there. That was close.
Oh, it was one each way because Kapanen went to jump out. He got tripped, little sneaky little interior trip.
So a face-off to Skinner's right-hand side. He just stopped Harley from distance, and it's Hintz against Draisaitl as well. And Hintz won the draw. Bad pass from Heiskanen to Harley. 3-on-2 Edmonton all of a sudden. Little give and go, and Kapanen's return pass went off a skate. And Dallas on the counter. Mikhail Granlund waits. Forced out wide by Klingberg, and will drop it off for Rantanen. Takes it behind the net. Rantanen dishes. One-timer. And that was a block shot. Rebound, and Skinner a scrambling stop on Hintz. Rebound shoveled back. Kapanen read it. Tried to drop it off to Draisaitl, and eventually got it to him. Draisaitl will challenge Rantanen to the net, and forced off his stick by Heiskanen at the last moment. Good play by Miro Heiskanen, who started that with a turnover. Zach Hyman will wind it along. The great ones, well, they usually redeem themselves. Rantanen, a good play off the wall to get it up to Granlund. He'll nudge a skittering puck inside the Edmonton blue line. Bouchard, long stretch for McDavid. Off the boards, he'll dish it off. Kulak a shot. Rebound, score! Kulak following his own shot. Makes it 2-0 Edmonton with 4:37 to play in the second period.
Well, a fortuitous ricochet for the Edmonton Oilers, but it starts with an Evan Bouchard 90-foot stretch pass to Connor McDavid. McDavid gains zone entry, drops it to Kulak. His first shot is blocked. He picks up his rebound and rips it home for his third career playoff goal.
In 89 games, first of this postseason, McDavid will draw the primary assist. And Edmonton has a 2-0 lead in Game 2. Corey Perry said after Game 1, hey, we came down here for a split. Doesn't matter whether we get it in the opener or Game 2.
And now discipline becomes the key for the Oilers, Jack.
A 2-goal lead, which is what they enjoyed late in the second period of Game 1. Couldn't hold it. Penalty trouble was the problem. Off the draw, flipped in by Trent Frederick. He'll thunder in on the forecheck against Alex Petrovic. Off to Bishop. Stars chip it up the left-hand side. Off balance Marchment. Too far. Getting in there. Oh, and a big hit on Duchesne by Nurse at the last instant. Came free. Duchesne waits. Dishes. Open man. Shot Marchment. Rebound wide. Hopped out to Duchesne. And Dallas ends up getting nothing. Oh, a big hit by Marchment on Evander Kane. Some hard hitting on this shift with 4 minutes to go in the second period. Bouchard will get the second assist, as Bob talked about. He's got 2 points tonight and 73 in his career. Here's Sagan. Bouchard, the biggest disparity between playoff points per game and regular season points per game in the history of the league. Shot from the high slot by Lindell blocked. And Edmonton has numbers coming the other way. Nugent Hopkins to Kane. Wrist shot, save Ottinger. Rebound swatted back to the high slot. That was a 3-on-2 for Edmonton. Nugent Hopkins shot tipped home. What a tip by Connor Brown. 3-0 Edmonton.
You said it. It's been one of those playoff years for Connor Brown. That's his 5th goal of the playoffs, Jack. Deflection, redirection, and the Edmonton Oilers are up by 3. It's going to be Wallman and Nugent Hopkins on the assist. Simple play, just put it to the net.
And Nugent Hopkins did so with a floater from a sharp angle and a beautiful tip right underneath the glove of Jake Ottinger by Connor Brown. Time of the goal, 16:36. Nugent Hopkins for the second consecutive game has a goal and an assist.
Jack, got to carry the 3-goal lead into the third period.
3:24 to play in the second. Face-off win for Jamie Benn. And this crowd, which had been rowdy, has been settled significantly. Dallas has won 7 straight games at home since losing its first game of the playoffs to Colorado. Here's a dish and a backhander denied. Wow. Perry thought he was hacked.
He was.
Ottinger made the save, and that could have been 4-0 and game over. Corey Perry off a Dallas dump in. Angles one off the boards. McDavid wrist shot. Blocker save made by Jake Ottinger. Dallas perilously close to getting blown out of this game. Jamie Benn puts it in deep. Colin Blackwell hovering close by. Dallas Dallas looking to carve it out of the zone. Wyatt Johnston tripped up, and here comes Connor McDavid up ice for the Edmonton Oilers. He'll gain the line, throw it across for Corey Perry. Shoveled in front, taken away from Zach Hyman by Jamie Benn. He'll clear up the left-hand boards. This will be waved off in terms of icing, and with 2:15 remaining in the second period, tracked by Kulak, who scored the second goal, and that was followed a minute 13 later by Connor Brown's tip-in. That looked close to offside against Edmonton. Broken up, and now a chance Sam Steele. Faking the shot. Got a poke check from Stuart Skinner for his trouble, and now a four-player pileup develops behind the Edmonton net. Kicked out, stepping up, shooting, and Harley had his shot blocked. A kick save made by Skinner on Cody Ceci, and the rebound swept through the middle and recovered by Harley with a minute 35 left in the second period of game 2. Steele fell down at center. Stars must regroup. Harley to Ceci. Right-hand side, Robertson turned it over. Draisaitl will flip it high just underneath the scoreboard. Not too far for any sort of icing, so Harley has to play it. Cody Ceci up to Jason Robertson. To center ice, and on the move is Mikko Rantanen. Around Stetcher. Forced out wide. Circling the net. Centering. Unable to come up with the puck cleanly was Alex Petrovic. Liam Bichsel held the zone for Granlund. A second time, Bichsel tried to get it to Granlund, but it went off his body and was wedged out safely by Brown for Frederick. Ottinger coming out to play it, and he threw it out of play. Delay of game against Dallas's goaltender. There was token pressure from Matthias Janmark, so Ottinger had to put it over his stick, and in doing so, sent one flying into the sixth row.
Well, that pressure from Janmark, because he can skate, he helped create it, and man, oh man, yeah, you know what? That's not a hook. They made the right call not calling the hook. We thought it's closer maybe than it appeared to be with Corey Perry on the net drive.
But Ottinger, so the forced error, and this is a chance for Edmonton to put this game on ice right here, right now. Power play already up 3-0. Magnificent opportunity for the Oilers, who are 1 for 2 tonight, to send Dallas reeling into the dressing room. Nugent Hopkins, Kulak, and Brown with the goals. Draisaitl and McDavid single assists. Bouchard has a pair. Nugent Hopkins for the second straight game, a multi-point outing. Off the draw, won by Blackwell. Lindell up the left-hand side and out. 40 seconds to go in the second period. Jake Ottinger, 2 minutes for delay of game. He's known as a pretty good puck handler, but that one got away from him. Sent in by Bouchard, chipped in by Nugent Hopkins, recovered with ease by Lindell, and he'll fire it down the ice. That was on net, no surprise. We saw Lindell score from 165 feet in game 1. Peter DeBoer says he's more accurate from that distance than he is from 10 feet. Steal by Rope Hintz, and another clear by the Dallas Stars. This Edmonton power play has not gotten going here, and the time is going to run off. Johnston, a centering pass shorthanded, intended for Hintz. McDavid has 2 seconds and leisurely floats one toward the net at the horn. But Edmonton, despite not doing much for that 51 seconds of power play time, will get a clean sheet to start the third. They'll be on a man advantage, and most importantly, they are in command of game 2 by a score of 3-0, having outshot the Dallas Stars by a count of 24-17, and in that period, taking total control of this game, outshooting the Stars 14-6, and tacking on 2 more to the 1-0 lead they enjoyed after 20. Again, Bob, we're very much back in the same spot, only this time it's Edmonton that's on a power play to start the third period, as opposed to having a shorthanded situation. And if they score on the power play, Bob, this game's over.
You would think. Yes. I mean, barring Darrell Evans and Jimmy Fox deciding to put some skates on for Dallas. But we know this. I mean,
we've seen 40 minutes of close-to-road perfection 2 nights in a row here in Dallas.
So tonight, it's the old saying, those of us that forget the past are forever condemned to repeat it. Don't repeat it. Deal with it. Get it done. Close it out here. And it starts, Jacka. We talked at the end of the second period, start of the second intermission last game, and said the Oilers needed a huge kill to start this period, or it was going to change the complexion of the game. I'm telling you right now, Edmonton has a chance to really change the complexion of this game if they get a power play goal here. If they close the deal.
What do you mean change? Just enhance?
Yes, they'll have a stranglehold on the game. But if Dallas can get a kill, maybe they can build some momentum. Anyhow, real good period, capitalized. The Oilers big boys have come to play. They've got a little bit of, Bouchard's having a wonderful game. RNH with a goal and assist. He's been good. This is his building. I think at game 5 here last year, too. The last 3 games he's played here, he's got 4 goals and 6 points in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So some work to do nonetheless, but start with a good PK or a good power play to start the third.
Well, you mentioned that game 5, and that was perfection for Edmonton, and it's a game the Stars have come to really regret. And Matt Duchene has kept a puck from that game in his locker all season long. I'll tell you what, if Edmonton comes back to win this, David carrying the puck into the offensive zone, gives it up for Perry. He was taken down. Nugent Hopkins tried to slide it down low for Draisaitl. The puck deflected, eventually grabbed by the Rocket Richard winner. And now it's McDavid. Draisaitl peering inside. Threw it across. McDavid will pick it up. Works off a check from Sam Steele. Around to Draisaitl. Just beneath the right half boards. He'll give it up for McDavid coming off the goal line with a feed to Bouchard. Flick back to McDavid. Rolls up top, and a good play by Colin Blackwell. He's really been pretty good on the penalty kill tonight. Oh, a big collision. McDavid and Blackwell, and it's offside against Edmonton, and that was an inadvertent collision. Draisaitl thought about giving.
We got a penalty.
They did. Blackwell for interference.
It's a 5-on-3. Got to score.
Number 15, 2 minutes. Interference.
So McDavid bumped it in, and when he ducked around Colin Blackwell.
Oh, he knew what he was doing. Good call by the officials. Jack, this is the Oilers, as you know, their 13th playoff game. Right now they're on pace to have only the second game where they've had more power plays than the opposition. They got a great chance here. Win the draw, get it to the net, attack the net, 5-on-3.
20 seconds. Off the face-off, Sam Steele. And Cody Ceci hard up the right-hand boards and out.
Oilers thought it went into a bench.
That'll drain most of the 5-on-3 power play time. They're not arguing too much. Here's Draisaitl, mishandled at center. Another good play by Steele. Didn't get down the ice. Bouchard and Nugent Hopkins play is onside. Feeds McDavid to the net. Draisaitl one touch. Nugent Hopkins waits and shoots, and the net was wide open. But Steele was in the way and deflected it harmlessly into the mesh as one of the penalties expired. And I don't blame Nugent Hopkins there, Bob. He was waiting for a path to clear. He had a wide open net, but he had 2 stars right in front of the net. Dragged, and finally fired it off. Maybe it was Lindell that got it.
2D on the ice here in the second power play unit. Still a minute 35. These guys might only get 30 seconds. If they win the draw, this group will shoot.
And that group includes Wallman and Klingberg. Wallman stepping up, trying to hold his own, and he does for Zach Hyman, who's out there with Evander Kane and Adam Henrique. Ruled good to go for the third period. Shot Kane, and a glove save made by Jake Ottinger from distance.
Don't mind that at all.
Minute 18 to go, and the penalty to Blackwell for interference. For now, the top unit remains on the bench. And one of the reasons you utilize 2 defensemen here is, of course, you've got a 3-goal lead.
Paul Coffey spends a lot of time with the second unit, Jack.
Face-off win for Adam Henrique. Wallman across to Klingberg. In close quarters, turned it over. And now it's a short-handed breakaway. Jumping up, Wyatt Johnston to the net. And a backhander forced wide. And Johnston needed that. He's been mired in a real slump. And Skinner forced it wide. What a chance for Dallas, short-handed. And they can't get it done. Kane's return pass to Klingberg is a poor one. And this second unit will change. And the top unit comes on with still 45 seconds to go in the Atco power play. 3-0 2-0 Edmonton. McDavid a burst of speed over the line. Perry to Draisaitl, swung back. 2 defensemen on the ice here, Bob, with a 3-goal lead. Kulak shoveled it down low. McDavid couldn't tuck it in tight. So no Nugent Hopkins out there. Nurse and Kulak, 2 defensemen, as Edmonton going a little bit conservative here.
Well, you hate to lose momentum, but this is a huge sequence for Dallas.
17 and a half minutes left in the hockey game, and offside whistled against Edmonton.
Wow.
It's not as huge a sequence because Wyatt Johnston didn't convert the shorthanded breakaway.
And you got 2 defensemen on the ice, Klingberg and Walman there. That can't be happening.
And Skinner just waited Johnston out as he dragged it to his backhand and ended up sifting it off the shaft of Skinner's stick. Terrific save by Stuart Skinner. His 17th of the night. Heiskanen off a draw, won by Dallas in the neutral zone, fired down the ice, and that'll pretty much do it for an Edmonton power play. So they don't cash in on 20 seconds worth of 5-on-3, but also 3 more minutes have been drained off the clock. 17 to play. Edmonton 3, Dallas no score in Game 2 of this West Final.
Predators got to get some of the guys on the ice here, get them going here in the third.
Bouchard will shoot it in from center. Game 3 will be Sunday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Bob and I will have it for you on the Oilers Radio Network. Frederick to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Scoop back to Frederick. Remember, Nugent-Hopkins didn't get any power play time on that last offering. Now he's got the puck 5-on-5. He spins and backhands it down low for Hyman. Frederick tried to get inside of Mikko Rantanen and could not. Advanced through to Rope Hintz. Nurse is back defensively, and Hintz will go nowhere. Behind the net, though, kept alive by Mikhail Granlund. But his pass sails through the slot untouched. And now we've got a penalty. Hintz down, and Nurse has dropped him. Dallas still has control of the puck. And if they whistled it down because Hintz is hurt, yes, they have. Nurse is wondering why the agony on the ice from Rope Hintz as the trainers come out to take a look. Time of the penalty will be 3:48. High sticking was the problem the other night for Edmonton. 2 high sticking penalties in the third period.
We have not seen what happened here. It was a cross check, and
it was a bit of a chop. Chop right into the midsection.
Hintz is slow to get up. He's not putting a lot of weight on it.
Left leg.
They're going to take a look at this.
For a spear. Let's get the call ringside.
Major penalty under review.
Yeah, they did call a 5-minute major, and I wonder whether they called a spear. Hintz is hobbling underneath. If it's a 5-minute major, that puts Dallas on the power play for 5 full minutes.
There's nothing happening in that sequence. You got to just skate away. No matter what, they're going to be shorthanded.
What do you think? Is that a 5, though?
I don't think it's a 5. I think it's a 2. He chopped him.
Yeah, he didn't spear him.
He did not. He chopped him. It's a slash.
I'm wondering why they called. I think they might have suspected it was a spear and called a 5, and it's going to turn into a 2, would be my guess. That's not a spear. And often what we're seeing is the 5 are called so they have an opportunity to review it and get it right. So let's see what Jean-Hubert comes up with. Here comes the announcement. I'm guessing this is going to be reduced to a 2.
After review, it's a 2-minute minor for slashing on 25.
There it is. That's a good call. And I'm not... My partner's a little sometimes to the other side of things, but that's a 2, not a 5.
It was a 2. It was a 2. They got it right. It's an unnecessary 2.
I think they suspected a spear, and that's why it was called a 5 to begin with.
Now they got to get a kill here. You don't want to give them any momentum. And they lost momentum on the power play of their own. Get a kill.
3-0 in favor of Edmonton.
They're throwing stuff on the ice here at Dallas.
And they'll get get that sorted. Napa Auto Parts penalty kill. You've got Woolman, Bouchard, Henrique, and Nugent-Hopkins. Face-off win for Dallas. Matt Duchene won it, threw it across. Rantanen bobbled it briefly. Henrique challenging. So Nurse in the box slashing a centering pass, and Woolman got a piece of that one. Duchene in the corner, trying to keep it alive. Robertson peeled it out of danger for Heiskanen. Across to Heiskanen. Rantanen back to Heiskanen. Rantanen deep right corner, another muff. Duchene in tight, and that's broken up and cleared by Woolman. Mikko Rantanen has not been at his best in this series. He had 2 bobbles on that power play, and it threw off the Dallas timing on the man advantage.
Oilers need some up pressure here. Don't give him an easy zone entry.
Lead pass, Robertson hits the line. Brown on him. Heiskanen knifed it between the wickets of Stetcher, and then it was twisted back off the glass and out by Kulak, and Heiskanen able to take over. Thus far, Dallas, a very quiet-looking power play. Robertson stood up by the aggressive Stetcher. In the corner, Rantanen stripped from behind by Stetcher, and he'll launch one down the left-hand side. Boy, Troy Stetcher's a gamer, isn't he? 5 minutes gone by in the third, and down to 40 seconds on this Dallas power play. Harley to Sagan. He'll dump it in from center ice. Bouchard, big swing, drove it to the point, held in by Harley, threw it across, picked off, good read by Woolman, and the puck easily cleared, and the Stars just not getting anything done on the man advantage. Granlund walks it back in, but he made one extra move to his left, and he drew his own team offside with 22 seconds to go on the Napa Auto Parts penalty kill. Edmonton still very much in control at 3-0, and 14:36 left in regulation with the neutral zone faceoff upcoming. Dallas will need a quick win here if they want any chance to get set up with a power play still intact. Jamie Benn will take it against Connor Brown. Brown tipped home Edmonton's third goal of the game late in the second period. Face-off win for Benn, rifled in by Marchment, and that clearly caught the mesh. Hit the glass and sailed out of play, so the face-off comes all the way back to the neutral zone, and Dallas making one execution mistake after another. They've got some guys at the top end of their lineup that are fighting the puck. Wyatt Johnston.
And they're still up 1-0 in this series.
Mikko Rantanen.
Yep.
And, of course, Jason Robertson.
But they'll get better. And that's why the Oilers got to make this 3-0 lead count here, Jack. Steele's been good for them.
He's been their best forward. In my opinion, he's been their best forward, and it isn't close. Jamie Benn beaten off the draw by McDavid, blasted in by Jake Woolman, and that'll pretty much do it for a Dallas power play that failed to generate anything. Harley up the right-hand side for Steele. Stars don't get a shot on the power play. Their only shot of this period was the shorthanded chance for Wyatt Johnston. Nurse comes out of the box, broken up by Heiskanen. A complete reversal on special teams tonight. Dadonov, sharp angle shot, clipped the side of the net. Jamie Benn in close quarters, trying to protect against Nugent-Hopkins. Dadonov in front, that was tipped. Heiskanen back down low for Dadonov from behind the net, looking for Steele, broken up by Hyman. Jamie Benn over to Heiskanen, and Evander came with a good read, forced that puck up ice. They'll wave off icing with 13.5 minutes left in regulation. Kane keeping the pressure on. First Harley, and then he landed a hit on Bishop. Finally cleared by Granlund, but Kulak will wait for Draisaitl to tag back onside, which he does, and flings the puck down low. And right now, Edmonton determined to force Dallas to come the full 200 feet if they're going to beat him. Wyatt Johnston, left wing for Granlund. Forced out wide by Stetcher. Sharp angle shot. Skinner did not cheat off the post and made the save. Rantanen on the rebound for Dallas. Back to the point. Bishop misread it, and he knows it. Banged his stick on the ice angrily as Ottinger forced to play it. Close quarters, Bishop turned over. Stetcher will just funnel it back to the other corner where Bishop is waiting for it. Beat Kapanen up the left-hand side. Rantanen. Bouchard back defensively. Rantanen fell down. Desperate Desperate pass to the middle, intercepted by Adam Henrique. He comes to the red line and smartly shoots it in. 12 and a half minutes to play in game 2, and Edmonton looking for more. Bouchard looking for Henrique. That pass was broken up by Petrovic. Across to Lindell. Connor Brown finishes his check as the Stars spill it back to center. On the rush, Colin Blackwell to Robertson. Shot and a block made by Evan Bouchard. Rebound Lindell. Back in front. Bouchard is slightly hobbled, but the Oilers did nudge it successfully back to center, and now you've got Lindell and Ceci trading the puck in their own zone for Dallas as we dip under 12 minutes remaining in the third period of Game 2 of this West Final. Dallas took Game 1 6-3 with 5 unanswered goals in the third period, becoming the 4th team in the history of the league to pull that one off. Oilers looking to even the series with Games 3 and 4 back in Edmonton on Sunday afternoon and Tuesday night. McDavid with control of the puck at neutral ice. Wheels his way around Tyler Seguin, charging in. Poke checked off his stick, and a clear for Marchment up the left-hand side. This may be icing against the Stars and is whistled as such with 11:25 left in regulation. And Edmonton still holding a 3-0 lead in Game 2.
We're watching Evan Bouchard down on the Oilers bench, and he is talking to TD Force after getting a shot right off the instep of his foot. And the Oilers can ill afford to lose him. He's 26 minutes a game, Jack. He's leading all defensemen in scoring. He's doing a good job now on the PK, too.
Heiskanen under control for Dallas. Launches one down the middle. Marchment unable to reel it in. Skinner slow to play the puck. Turned it over. Sagan centering pass for Duchesne. Broken up by Kulak. And the only area of weakness tonight for Stuart Skinner is his puck handling. Here's Harlan off a giveaway. Edmonton looking to take advantage deep in the offensive zone. It's Janmark to Draisaitl. Takes a peek and then finds Troy Stetcher. He'll walk the line and shoot high and wide. Rebound Corey Perry. Swings it down low for Leon Draisaitl. Harley on him. Matthias Janmark knocked off the puck. Harley regains control for Dallas, but we're inside 10.5 minutes remaining. Nugent Hopkins comes back on the ice along with Vasily Podkolzin and Kasperi Kapanen. Wyatt Johnston will gain the line for Dallas. Right wing, loading and firing, and a kick save made by Skinner. Just the third shot of the period for the Dallas Stars, and a good one, and Skinner makes the save. Big hit on Podkolzin applied by Bichel. But Podkolzin kept his feet. Kapanen there, trying to rake it out of there as Bichel. Precious time continues to ebb. Still lodged along the half boards. Bichel and Podkolzin are going to go off here. It's going to be roughing penalties, and now they might fight. But the linesmen, I don't think, are going to let him go.
I'm Bichel. I don't want to fight Podkolzin. Bichel hasn't fought a lot. Podkolzin, we saw what he did earlier this season.
Overhand right, KO Jeremy Lauzon. 9:57 to go in the third period. Coincidental roughing minors, but Edmonton firmly in charge of Game 2 of this Western Conference Final. 3-0 our score. Nugent Hopkins in the first.
Dallas number 6, minor penalty, cross-checking. Edmonton 92, minor penalty for roughing. 4-on-4.
Kulak and Brown in the second. And you heard the official. 4-on-4 when we come back to Big D. Edmonton closing in on a win that will even the series at 1 game apiece. 3-0 for the Oilers. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey and the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Oilers Radio Network.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years? Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts is a proud fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
All right, give me something big.
The Ford It's a Big Deal event is on.
Bigger.
Get a big truck and an even bigger deal.
Love it. Now the details.
Right now, lease a 2025 F-150 STX with the black appearance package from $220 bi-weekly at 0% APR for 24 months with $43.75 down. That's like $110 weekly.
Now bring it home.
Plus, there's a $750 bonus for eligible Ford owners. Hurry into your Alberta Ford store. Visit Ford.ca today.
Proudly headquartered in oil country, Capital Power is delivering reliable and affordable power today while building clean power systems for tomorrow, creating the balanced energy solutions communities across Alberta and North America can depend on. Visit capitalpower.com to learn how they are powering change by changing power. Be part of their energy and join Capital Power as we all cheer on our Edmonton Oilers on their quest to win it all.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
3-0 hockey game here in Dallas at the midway point of the third period. They play the Garth Brooks staple. But right now, that's all the Stars fans have to lean on for entertainment. Their hockey club is in deep trouble. Off the draw, their 7-game winning streak at home in the playoffs in jeopardy. Off the draw, Granlund to Lindell. Still time for Dallas, but they got to get going. Thus far, just 5 shots in this third period. Rantanen out to Haskin. Right circle, wrist shot, step wide. Rebound. What a save! Skinner launching across the blue paint to deny Lindell. Spectacular! Haskin fires and a block shot. McDavid, who tonight has collected his 20th point of the Stanley Cup playoffs, 4th player in the history of the game with 4 straight 20-point playoff seasons. Bossy, Trottier, and Sergei Fedorov the others. Thomas Harley dangling, circling the net, top of the circle, shot, kick save, Skinner, rebound McDavid. Remember, this is a 4-on-4, so a lot of open ice. With a coincidental penalty, Nurse to Hyman, a shot off the rush, juggled by Ottinger and kept alive for Lindell.
It's just Edmonton's second shot of this period.
Here's Jason Robertson dialing it up. Dishing off, Wyatt Johnston, wrist shot, save, Skinner, rebound Harley. And he mishandles the puck, and that forces Dallas back to center with 8.5 left in regulation. Harley steps in, Johnston fires, misses high glove. He's been ice cold since having the game winner in Game 7 against Colorado. Jason Robertson in across the line, he'll wind it along. That's going to be picked up by Ceci. Johnston lost the handle. Wallman didn't get it out. Johnston had it. Lost it. Got it back. Just turned 22 did Wyatt Johnston. Robertson up top. Ceci. Shot Heiskanen. Tipped wide by Robertson. Shot by Ceci. Sails wide. Rebound Heiskanen. Double ricochet. Johnston to Heiskanen. Penalties are over to Bischel and Podkolzin. Back to 5-on-5 with 7:45 remaining in the hockey game.
Oilers need a clear, Jack.
3-0. Draisaitl gives him that clear to center. Podkolzin was not at the red line. He's going to be guilty of icing here. 7:36 remaining in the third period, and still a 3-0 lead for the Edmonton Oilers with a face-off coming back in the offensive zone for the host, Dallas Stars.
Do you take a timeout here, given that you've had your players on the ice for a while?
Well, you ice the puck, you can't take a timeout.
There you go. That's a big change.
Well, it's been several years. You want to talk about a 2-line pass next?
It's only Jack. Jack, it's only been 15 years for you and me. When did they make that change? I'm still in shock after a Troy Stecher interview at the end of the first period.
Apparently. All right, Duchesne wins the face-off. Bischel a shot through heavy traffic. Rebound, Sagan couldn't get it off. Troy Stecher up the left-hand side. You've got Podkolzin back to Stecher. Had it taken away. Stars hold the puck. Centering pass. Sagan lets it go through. Waiting, shooting. Petrovic could not get it on net. To Sagan. Deep right corner. Stecher protecting. Wraparound Marchment. Easy save for Stuart Skinner. You're not going to fool him from that far post. And with 7:11 to play in the third period, Edmonton closing on a split here at the American Airlines Center. Nugent Hopkins with a goal and an assist. Kulak and Brown with 2 goals late in the second period. No scoring thus far in the third. It's Edmonton 3 and Dallas 0. Game 2 of the Western Conference Final. Our live coverage continues in just a moment. The Oilers Radio Network.
Today you can score at A&W. Enjoy a juicy grass-fed beef mama burger and fries for only $5. Available in-store or on the A&W mobile app at participating locations in Oil Country. This fantastic deal is available all day today at A&W.
Our people, our team. It's what business owners almost always say is their most important resource. But strong businesses don't just find great people. They make sure their teams stay healthy, engaged, and performing at their best. A benefits plan from Alberta Blue Cross is more than just drug and dental. They support the whole person with flexible coverage levels that fit the size and circumstance of your business. Find a plan that gets results at ab.bluecross.ca.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, and breathtaking views. Experience resort-like amenities including a full-time concierge, yoga and fitness studios, golf simulator, plus indoor and outdoor lounges for you to live your best life. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com and make your home high above the ordinary.
Today you can score at A&W. Enjoy a juicy grass-fed beef mama burger and fries for only $5. Available in-store or on the A&W mobile app at participating locations in Oil Country. This fantastic deal is available all day today at A&W.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
3-0 hockey game, 7:11 to play in the third period. The Oilers closing in on a victory that'll even this best-of-7 Western Conference final in a game apiece. Florida leads the Eastern Conference final 2-0 with games 3 and 4 back at Sunrise. And quite frankly, the Panthers look like a wagon. Sam Bennett is having a Claude Lemieux type of playoff run.
He's going to get paid.
Face-off win for Tyler Seguin, back to the point, and a drive taken, but put well wide of the mark again. Petrovic and Bishop out trailing 3-0 with 7 minutes to play.
Maybe just because they're out against the Oilers' third line, that could be the only rationale.
Bishop up the gut, taken away by John Klingberg, and from center ice, he'll rifle it back in. This is smart puck utilization from the Edmonton Oilers. Duchesne, a stretch play. Picked up by Marchment. Can't do anything with the puck, and Evander Kane a soft chip back to center. Stars are able to regain. Duchesne in close quarters against Adam Henrique. Fought for, controlled, finally in the high slot, and directed out by Henrique with one hand up to Kane, who got flattened by Bishop. But he did take the hit to make the play and got it in deep. Petrovic ambles his way to center. He'll dump it in and change with 6 1/4 left in the third period. 3-0 Edmonton. Kulak, who scored the second goal, up to McDavid, backing his way to the center line is Zach Hyman, and he ultimately hoists one behind the Dallas defense. Harley takes a pass from Heiskanen, who jumps up in the play, but Dadonov can't find Jamie Benn cleanly, and Hyman is able to force it back down low into the Dallas zone.
Bouchard's second shift since being hit in the foot, Jack.
Stars can't get anything going offensively. Harley bottled up in his own blue line by the relentless McDavid. Jamie Benn stopped by Bouchard at center, and Connor McDavid will just take a skate back into his own zone, leave it for Bouchard to alleviate the pressure. Line change for Edmonton, 5.5 minutes left. High flip from Bouchard, settled by Frederick. Ahead to Leon Draisaitl, he'll poke it beyond the reach of Cody Ceci. Back behind the net, Kapanen to Draisaitl, won the battle, tried to center, and that was broken up by Johnston. Bouchard across, Woolman, his shot, tipped away by Rantanen. Kapanen could not hold the zone. Granlund comes up with the puck, but is immediately stifled by Leon Draisaitl, who took a hard hit, but forced it back through the middle. Dadonov got a healthy piece of Draisaitl and followed it up, and Kapanen reverse popped him, and Dadonov went down. Frederick in front, all alone. Yanmark backed it off the post, and then nudged it wide. I don't know how that stayed in.
Great play by Frederick.
To find Yanmark all alone in front of Jake Ottinger, he hit the post. Ottinger couldn't find the rebound, and neither could Yanmark. The puck stays out, and the game at least still available for Dallas. Ottinger is still in the pipes. The Stars dump it in. Duchesne's center pass broken up. Stetcher Stecher with 4:20 to play. Up the right-hand side, not out. Heiskanen a shot. Stick save made by Stuart Skinner. Rebound poke to the corner. Here's Matt Duchene.
Yes.
Gave it away. Stecher wedged it out safely. Evander Kane has Brown with him. He tried to center, and that was broken up at the last instant. Big hop into the corner. Kane crowds Rantanen, and now Heiskanen. As the clock dips inside 4 minutes to play, and the Oilers seemingly well on their way here.
Gotta think they pull him here now, Jack.
Well, they can't get out of their own end the last 30 seconds. Robertson up to Thomas Harley at center ice. Ottinger right now still entrenched in the pipes. Nugent Hopkins lands a hit in the corner of the Oilers zone, and then Kulak, when he tried to pop it out to center ice, had it deflect out of play. A face-off coming to Skinner's left, and one more commercial timeout. We'll take a break from Dallas, Texas. The Edmonton Oilers poised to even the best-of-7 Western Conference final at a game apiece. They laid it 3-0. Back with a finish when we return. The Oilers Radio Network.
Ready to score big on your outdoor space? It's game time with Park Landscaping. Transform your backyard into a winning arena with Park Landscaping's expert team. From design to maintenance of lush lawns and state-of-the-art synthetic turf to inviting pools and captivating water features, Park Landscaping will make your outdoor space the MVP. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in the game with Park Landscaping. Call 780-486-2744 today or email info@parklandscaping.ca.
Going back to school can be as scary as taking the winning shot, but it doesn't have to be. Northern Lakes College is here to help you meet all your goals and cheer you on. Explore programs in academic upgrading, apprenticeship trades, business and administrative studies, health, human service careers, resource technology, university studies, and more, including a wide range of courses available through continuing education. Score a great future with Northern Lakes College. NorthernLakesCollege.ca. Everywhere you need them to be.
Do you have tickets to an upcoming event at Rogers Place that you can't attend? Donate your tickets to the Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation Seats for Kids program, presented by Eagle Builders. Seats for Kids provides unused game tickets for charities, allowing children and families to enjoy hockey at Rogers Place. And for many, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. To be a part of the Seats for Kids program presented by Eagle Builders, please email Edmonton@kidsupfront.com. That's Edmonton@kidsupfront.com.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
3-0 hockey game, 3:32 to play, final period. Dallas net empty. 6-on-5 for the Stars. Offensive zone face-off. McDavid will take it against Wyatt Johnston to Stuart Skinner's left-hand side. Shots are 25-24. Edmonton. Nugent Hopkins, a first-period power play goal and an assist on Connor Brown's tip-in that made it 3-0 late in the second, in between Brett Kulak with his third career playoff goal in 89 games. Off the face-off, swung up ice by Hyman. A race for the empty net. And getting back just in time to draw icing is Matt Duchene.
Wow, that surprised me, but he was right there. With Zach Hyman, he can fly. How about 12 hits in game one, Jack?
Well, he leads the league.
Got to find different ways to help a team.
Has 3 goals in this postseason, one of 9 Oilers with 3 goals. Kulak became the 17th Oiler with a 5-on-5 goal tonight. Here's Matt Duchene. The depth of Edmonton winning the day thus far in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Duchene, Miro Heiskanen. Duchene, 6-on-5, tried to tuck it inside Robertson, across to Rantanen, waits, backdoor. Duchene's shot hit the side of the net. Kulak taken down. McDavid snatched the puck away. The net is empty. Nugent Hopkins gives it up for Zach Hyman, barreling to the net, and he forced it just wide. He thought he was slashed, and there's the penalty. A slashing call will be whistled against Dallas. Zach Hyman's stick ended up as kindling. Was that Ramden who got him?
Dallas 96 minor penalty for slashing.
It was. And that effectively ends the competitive phase of this one. 2:53 to play in the third.
Now, he's going for the empty net on the shot there.
But he's not a clear path. Yeah. It's not a goal. Of course he's going for the empty net. You have to have a clear path.
skated in the corner. I'm just saying that Rantanen probably
saved a goal. Sure he did,
sure.
But it wasn't a clear path.
Now, if you're Edmonton, this is the one time you don't have to force pucks to it. You can kill some time off.
Wheel it around on the perimeter. Play four corners. Draisaitl. Face off. Win against Blackwell. Darnell Nurse. Smartly over to Troy Stetcher. Draisaitl kind of one-timed it to the opposite corner. Evander Kane and Corey Perry out there with Leon Draisaitl. A curious-looking ATCO Energy power play unit, obviously with Edmonton holding a 3-goal lead. No Draisaitl and McDavid together on the ice. And certainly no regular power play unit. Perry ducks back in through center. Draisaitl to Stetcher, across to Nurse, left point. Back to Draisaitl on the right half boards. And what Bob talked about is exactly what the Oilers are employing here. CeCe manages a clear, but only as far as center. And Darnell Nurse will just take a skate. I mean, this is, again, when you've got the lead and you're about to salt away a victory, you don't have to release the puck. Evander Kane will rush it in. It's 1-on-4. Edmonton conservatively at its own blue line. Now McDavid is on the ice. Lindell will send it down.
They're not
Skinner to handle. They're not pulling Ottinger. 3-0 with 1:45 to go in the third. I mean, that was a chance. Lindell had the puck. If he had skated up ice, he could have theoretically pulled Ottinger. But now Edmonton is just going to milk clock here as McDavid and Klingberg just weave their way through the neutral zone. Zach Hyman will bring it into the attack zone for Edmonton, take it off his feet. A clear for the Stars, but Klingberg has plenty of time to come up with the puck, send it across to Kulak, and more time runs off, and Jake Ottinger isn't going anywhere. Game 2 is in the books. Edmonton has evened the series. Oilers nearly got called for too many minutes. They got their signals crossed on a line change. 10 seconds are left in the power play. Troy Stetcher, with a minute to go, dumps it into the Dallas zone. So the Oilers have come to Dallas and gotten exactly what they wanted, a split, and they've regained home ice advantage in this Western Conference Final with games 3 and 4 in Edmonton. Sunday at 1 o'clock and Tuesday at 7. We'll have both of them for you on 880 CHED and the Oilers Radio Network. Sorry. Tuesday's game is 6 o'clock Mountain Time. My apologies, 6 o'clock local time. Liam Bichel off an Oiler dump in to Mikko Rantanen. Up the gut, a chance, a backhander sifted wide by Dadonov. Rantanen tried to center wide. Johnston, quick shot, and he hooked one wide as Edmonton getting a little sloppy here in the final 20 seconds. Dallas just trying to get on the board. Wyatt Johnston hard to the net with a backhander sifted wide. Coming up with a puck is Mikko Rantanen. One-timer Bichel. Painful block shot by Frederick. And that'll do it. All 3 of Stuart Skinner's postseason wins this year have come by way of the shutout. And Edmonton does not permit Dallas a shot on net for the final 5.5 minutes of this game. 24 in total for Stuart Skinner tonight in terms of saves, and all the offense he needed, he got from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins tonight with a goal and an assist. It's 3-0 Edmonton in Game 2 in the Western Conference Final.
We're even, man.
Is now tied at a game apiece. Game 3 will be Tuesday night, 1 o'clock. Game 3 will be Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock matinee, and Game 4 Tuesday night at 6. Skinner 24 saves and an emphatic road victory turned in by Edmonton, who has dominated this series in 5 of the 6 periods, and they built on what they established over the 40 minutes, I thought, tonight, Bob, winning the 5-on-5 battle.